All right, guys, this is Code Man's Auto, and what we are working on today is a 2016 Ford Focus. And what is happening with this Focus is our cooling fans are not running. So searching around on YouTube, I haven't found anyone that is covering the issue that I have with mine. So maybe if yours is giving you trouble, maybe this is the video you've been looking for. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I did was hooked it up on the scan tool, and this is the code that I have. It is a P0480. The only thing the P0480 says is that you have an issue with your fan. So from that point, I started diagnosing. Lucky for me, I have two of these cars, and I was able to take parts off of one car and put on the other. And doing that, I was able to rule out the module, which was my biggest concern. So then I wanted to go to the relay. So I come to the book, and R12 is the relay that I need to focus on because that is the relay for the cooling fans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to R12. So I'm going to find a relay that is compatible with R12 that won't shut anything down that would have to do with the vehicle running. So R12 is a cooling fan relay, and rear window defroster is R15. Let's go back to R15. And R15 is a relay in the corner. Let's walk out here to the car, see if they're compatible. And if they are, we'll switch them around and see if the cooling fan starts to work. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull off the cover for the distribution box, and we're going to pull off the cover for the battery. Okay, so what I did now was I put a mark on R12, and I pulled it out of this position and I put it in R16 or R15. And I did that so that I could check to see if it would change my fans, and my fans still are not running. So now we need to move on. I did a lot of diagnosing before I found this issue. I actually changed the module on the front of the car. I have two of these cars, so it made it nice. I could pull the module off of one, put it on the other, and I didn't have to spend $200 on a module. I also ran two jumper wires from the fan up to the battery and run it straight so that I could hear the fan run. I wanted to make sure that the fan was good. I didn't want to go through all of this and end up having a bad fan. So anyway, what I did was I switched the relays around, and that did not change anything. The fan still didn't run. So what I did was, and I do this a lot when I have an electrical issue, I popped the cover off of the relay, and then from that point I checked the 12 volt to see if I have power going to my relay when I turn the ignition on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've got my 12 volt tester hooked up to my ground, and I am going to lay the tester on my relay. The relay is in location 12 in your book or on your cover. Look for location 12, and this is where the relay for the cooling fan is on a 2016 Ford Focus. I don't know exactly what years run in at. I'm going to say 14 to maybe 18, but you'll have to look that up and see. All I know is on the 2016, this is the location. My 2014 outside has the same location, so I know it's at least 14 to 16. So I've got power going to my cooling fan relay. So what I did, I had checked all of the wiring in the front of my car. I was checking all of the wiring coming from the fan to the distribution box. I was running out of options, and then I found this issue, and watch this. All I did was touched in this area, and I don't know what I'm moving. Like I told you, I have not fixed this yet, as you can see, and whatever I am moving here is kicking my relay off. So let me do this again, and I can kick my relay on. I don't know what's going on here. I did not find it by accident. I was actually trying and checking and pushing on wires and checking everything. And this is one of the areas that I was in, and when I moved this, then I kicked my power off. Okay, so I got the air conditioner on, and we'll look down in here at the fan. If I can get you a good visual, you'll see that the fan, and you can see down in there the fan is not running. The air conditioner is on, so that fan should be turning. When I come back up, let me show you. When I touch this wire, now let's look down in there, and you can see my fans are running. This is really strange because what I have is a blown fuse. It's not acting like a fuse. This is the fuse for the power to my relay. Watch this. So you see I have power to this side of the fuse, but I don't have any to that side of the fuse. When I push this, for some reason, I'm getting power to this side of the fuse, which is giving me power to my relay. When I lose power there, I lose power here. So if you're having a problem with a Ford Focus, check this fuse link. More than likely, it is your issue. Okay, so I've taken the fuse off of the car and I cannot see where it is bad, it has blown or anything like that. So I'm just going to order a new one and put it on and see if that takes care of the issue. Okay, so because my fuse was acting so strange, I took it apart and it does not look like it was blown. It looks like that the center of the fuse broke. Usually when a fuse blows, there'll be a huge gap here in the center of the fuse and it'll be visible. Mine wasn't visible, so I took the fuse apart. I took the cover off of it, and what I believe was happening was when we was moving that wire, we was bending the metal plate, and what we was getting was an action like this, where the fuse was touching in the middle a little bit, and just enough to give me that intermittent power to where sometimes my fan was running and sometimes my fan was not running. Okay, so now that we know that the fuse was broke in the center, now we can move on. We know that we found the problem. Okay, so we got our new fuse in, our new fuse link. Check this out. And we've got hot on both ends. I'm coming over and checking my relay, and the relay is also hot. So I cleaned my cable up and I put some tape around the cable. Got my fuse link in. I'm ready to put this back together, and then I'm going to show you that the fan is working. Alright, so we got everything back together. Got my covers on, everything plugged in the way it's supposed to be. Going to go down here and check on my fan. And you can see the AC is on, my fan is running, and everything worked out good on this job. This is Cold Man's Auto. Please like, please subscribe.